Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marnice Nicole. I'm an acrylic painter and I have an art book haul for you today. So this is all of the art books that I've gotten over the last few weeks. It's a lot, and so we're gonna hop right into it and show these off. Hey guys, so I'm ready to hop right into showing off these amazing art books that I've gotten. This art haul in and of itself was a little bit it was a little bit of an oopsie on my part. I did not mean to actually acquire this many books, but what happened was that I was waiting so long for one particular book to get here that I kept then getting more books. It's not okay. It's not the best thing to do. But as an artist, I'm always looking for inspiration. I'm always looking to see different styles, color palettes, and learn and also just absorb different types of art. Like, I love to be surrounded by it. And I feel like as a art lover and book lover, a great way for me to support artists and to support the arts in general is to get these curated collections of either a single artist's work or a collection of artists' work and have that and use them which I need to get better about, to actively use them for inspiration and just again to be surrounded by art. Now, I buy art prints all the time. I support other artists by bookmarks and keychains, but the art book is something that I love to get because one, it's usually filled with more than just art, stories and background information and like color palettes and theories and the inspiration for the artist or challenges or there's so many takeaways from an art book. A lot of the times you'll get a curated book and it's showing multiple artists, so you're getting more bang for your buck. And a few of these artists I had literally not heard of until I went art book shopping, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, this all started with one book, and it's not actually an art book. It is this book right here. This is by Claude Mckay, Romance and Marcel. I feel like it's Marseille. This is actually a classic Penguin book, and this is it's 1960s if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think this is the 1960s. This is a book, me and my sister were in a bookstore and we got a few books, and this book in particular, the cover just screamed at me, and I was just like, oh, I love this art style. I wonder who did this cover. Never actually found out who loved this cover, but then it got me in the mood for art books, and I was like, one, I need to find out who this artist is and find out if they have an art book. But two, I had been meaning to buy like art books for a while and I had it in I don't even know how long. So I was like, you know what, let me just go get a few. It got me in my head and I was like, I want a book. I want an art book that has been on my wish list for some time. And so I picked up this book, The Art of Archibald J Motley Jr. Now, this is an artist that I first heard a reference on TikTok because someone said my work reminded me of them, and I was like, huh. So I, of course, went and looked up their works, and he was such a brilliant painter. He did these epic jazz-like scenes and club scenes and party scenes, other things too, but I especially love his work in that vein. And so I went on Amazon and I purchased this, but I actually bought this from, you know, the little drop down where you can get other options like for cheaper or for sale prices, or from not directly from Amazon, but like other sellers, right? And I saw that an actual library was selling their edition. And so this one, I'm sure it has like writing in it. It's a little worn down. It's not in mint condition, but I wanted to support the library. And so this is where I got that book from. But this book took 3 weeks to get here. And so in that time I was like, I want art books. I want art books. And so I am planning to deep dive into this man's work because one, I think his subject matter really excites me, especially in this age of art that I'm in. If you are new here, I recently did this black opera painting. I just finished this painting like today, and this is a painting of a girl. I'll put a close-up here for you. A girl in a like empty movie theater or pub theater, you know, a theater of some kind. And I did work like this. It reminds me so heavily, just flipping through this initially and from what I've seen online, of this man's work. And I'm just like, I could learn so much from this man. I'm so interested in his color palettes and his style of painting and just reading about him. This page in particular, the skin tones. I love how the skin tones are more purplish and pinkish, and I really want to explore that as well. But again, this took 3 weeks to get here, and you know, when you are type A like me and like have time on your hands, you then pick up more books. So the next books that I picked up came in the form of this book right here by Butler, Portraits. That's what this book is about. She has another art book that I saw, but I was really more interested in her portrait book first. And this is a collection of her work. Again, all revolves around portraiture. And she actually, this is not a painting. This is a quilt. She is a fabric artist and quilter, and she makes these like breathtaking painting like art pieces out of fabric and quilts. And it's just like, would you not think that this is a painting? It's so vibrant, it's so fun. She tells such intelligent and like strong stories, black stories. Like, look at this. This is an amazing book. And I've seen some of her interviews online, and she has such a amazing like view about art and the work she's creating. And so this, I'm so excited to see. And I love the color stories, the play with patterns. I love everything about this book. So we got this book. Also with 2 other books at the same time. I have been very interested for several years on getting this book. It's a collection of new generations of artists. Artists mostly that I've never heard about before. And they're all young, gifted, and black. And as a black artist, I just love to see and experience other black art. I just personally, growing up, I did not see these things. I didn't see black art, or if I did, it would be just so rare. Like if I went to a museum, no one on the walls was black. That was my experience. And so this book filled with young, gifted black artists is just so amazing to me. And so I'm gonna go flip through this, learn and read about some of the artists. And there's all kinds of art in here. Portraitures, abstracts, expressionists, everything like that. And of course, again, I'm loving the color palettes. I haven't really worked in cool tones often. This is actually the first piece in a while that is primarily a cool tone palette for me. And so I'm loving everything that I'm seeing and flipping through. And like, look at this. And again, you get to read about the artists, about their vision and their backstory. And if you are in the mood for some black art, I highly suggest this one, because it's beefy and it's full. You're gonna find an artist that you love. You're gonna find several artists that you love, and I think that is the point. Now, the last book I got in that haul was the Obama portraits. This is about the 2 artists who did the official Obama portraits. You have this portrait of President Obama, and then you have of Michelle Obama. And actually this cover is reversible, so you can have it with Michelle showing up front as the cover, and I'm going to probably end up switching it because I do prefer Michelle's portrait. I really love this. But yeah, it goes into the artist, the work behind it, I believe, and the unveiling. Like, it shows some photos of that, and it goes through the whole process and the story behind it, as well as just generally some information about the Obamas. And so that was the first haul. But then I had to wait some more, and I'm impatient and also a splurge buyer, so I got a few more books. Those being this, and I might pronounce this wrong, Yayoi Kazuma. She's a very famous artist from Japan, I believe, and she does the big dot paintings. And so she has an interesting style. I've always loved her work. I found it striking. Again, if you're seeing a theme here, because of the colors, and she in and of herself, she's just a whole character. I love her style. That's her photoed here. And so I've been eyeing this book for ever, and I can't wait to take the plastic off and just dive into it. I've been looking at some of the other books first, but we have that. And then I picked up this book. Another book. So this one is actually We Are Here, Visionaries of Color, Transforming the Art World. It talks about highlights of collections of our most talented Black and brown creatives to date. It is a brilliant documentation of what is happening inside the artist studio, and that is so exciting. Like, I always love looking at other artists' processes, and how collections are put together, and how you're picking your theme, and why you're making the paint choices that you're making, and everything that goes behind every brushstroke, from the curator to the artist to the museum to the place to the thing. I love it all, and that's part of the reason why I have this channel where I am making art videos about my art process, because I didn't see a lot when I first started painting, and I like to give that. I love to share that. And so this book, I am so ready to dive deep into this book. It's so many different artists and curators and stuff, so there's so much for me to get out of this. It's like I'm going to be able to experience 800 different studios all at once. So, and then this book I actually saw on TikTok. I will put a picture of the, I can't remember her name, but the TikToker who was talking about this book, and I'll link her down below. She was given a recommendation, and this is about the muses for famous art pieces and artists and that sort of thing. It's uncovering the hidden figures behind art history masterpieces. And it's called Muses. It's by Ruth Millington. And so I was actually like scrolling by and I saw this pop up, probably because I've been searching so many art books that, you know, it's in the recommendeds now. The internet knows me. And so this has a bunch of stories about the muses who help inspire great art. And I can't wait, because I find when I find inspiration, it's usually from a feeling or a place. It's never really been specific people. And so I would love to see how that art process happens and see what about this one person, this muse, created this part of this artwork. Because it's not always a direct like sketch or something of a person. It's always more than that. And I want to see what the more is. So I'm really excited about this book. And just look at the art just on the front page. This is going to be an interesting story. I can guarantee it. So then we have the last two books. This book I was not actually planning to get, but I was flipping through this book and it mentions this book, and I was just like, I've been avoiding this book. I didn't want to get it because I didn't want to get another book, but I was like, wait, this one is mentioned here already, like in one of the first few pages, so I have to get this one so that I can reference this, because this book is called Afro Cobra. It is experimental art towards a school of thought. And I don't know if this is featuring mostly artwork or if it's the like kind of discussion around major art topics. I haven't even opened this yet. But from seeing it mentioned here, and I had already had my eye on it because of the cover, I was like, okay, you got me. I'm going to get this book. So there was that. And then the final book was the He Wiley. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. This is a massive art book, and this is one of my favorite artists. I've been following him on Instagram for a long time, and he has a few art books at this point, but this one I really wanted because of the cover, and that's it. I just wanted it because of the cover, so I got this book. And he is a famous artist, portraitures, and they all have this graphic style, and he's done so many paintings that I love, which I'm pretty sure he did the Obama painting. I'm not sure, I haven't read the book yet, but you know, like, look at this. This is such a me kind of art that I appreciate and love. All of these little tiny details to make such an impactful piece. And so I'm especially looking forward to flipping through this, getting inspiration. And so that is the last book of my book art collection haul. So I do have a very old art book collection. If you want an update, definitely let me know, because I can show off all of the books in my collection. But yeah, I'm slowly gathering art books from artists that I love, and I want to use the books more for more inspiration, but I think I'm going to enjoy just going through these for a little while. Like, this is going to be fun. So anyway, my name is Marnice Nicole. I'm an acrylic painter who buys way too many art books. And I guess I'm out.